Welcome back, my friends. In the farthest reaches of the north, where the world was broken and built in shadow, there once stood a fortress so vast and terrible that even the stars seemed to dim above it. This was Angband, the iron prison, forged by Morgoth, the first Dark Lord, and stronghold of evil in the elder days. It was not merely a fortress, it was a world of war, of flame and darkness, a monument to defiance against the Valar. Beneath its iron gates were bred monsters of Middle-earth, wolves with burning eyes, dragons and Balrogs, horrors twisted by the will of a fallen god. This is the story of Angband, the founding of Angband. In the beginning, when the Valar shaped Arda, there rose two great fortresses in the north, Etumno, the dark abyss, and Angband, its western outpost. Both were created by Melkor, the mightiest of the Ainur, in his rebellion against the order of the world. While Etumno was the first seat of power, Angband was his stronghold of war. It was carved deep into the Iron Mountains, the Ered Engren, and fortified with towers, forges, and countless gates. Even after the Valar stored Etumno and cast Melkor into the void, Angband remained. And when Melkor returned, bearing the name Morgoth, he rebuilt Angband into a fortress greater and more dreadful than before. The Lord of Angband, Morgoth, once the most radiant of the Ainur, became a figure of malice and might. In Angband he wore a form of shadow and fire, his face wreathed in flame, his crown bearing the Silmarils he stole from Fëanor. He dwelt deep in the pits of the earth, guarded by Balrogs, fallen mire of fire, and monstrous beasts of his own design. He wrought dark sorceries and spread corruption across the land, sending out orcs, trolls, and worse to wage war on elves and men. It was from Angband that he ruled the north, a dark god in a fortress of iron. The engines of war. Angband was more than stone and shadow. It was a forge of endless war. In the deepest holes, Morgoth bred vast armies, legions of orcs shaped from captured elves, beasts of darkness, and fell spirits bound in monstrous form. The forges of Angband never slept. Smoke and fire poured into the sky, and the mountains themselves seemed to groan beneath the weight of Morgoth's malice. Here Glaurung was born, the father of dragons, and here the Balrogs awakened from their slumber. Here Sauron, once a Maya ofEu, served as Morgoth's lieutenants, overseeing the tortures and strategies of war. Angband was the beating heart of shadow in the First Age. The War of Beleriand. From Angband came ruin. Over the course of centuries, Morgoth waged war on the Noldor, the exiled elves who had followed Fëanor across the sea to reclaim the Silmarils. The Dragor Nuin Goliath, the battle under the stars, was the first clash, and the elves won. But Morgoth returned with greater force. The Dragor Bragalach, the battle of sudden flame, saw rivers of fire pour forth from Angband as Glaurung led the charge. Mighty kingdoms fell. Fingolfin, High King of the Noldor, rode alone to Angband and challenged Morgoth to single combat. There, upon the plain before the gates, the two fought. And though Fingolfin wounded Morgoth 7 times, he was crushed by the Dark Lord's hammer, Grond. And even this could not end the war Angband endured. The fall of Gondolin. One of the most tragic victories of Angband was the fall of Gondolin, the hidden city of the elves. Through treachery and sorcery, Morgoth discovered its location and unleashed a host from Angband. Balrogs, dragons, and orcs in countless number. The city burned, and its people were scattered. From this ruin came only a few survivors. Among them, Tuor, Idril, and their child Erendil, who would carry hope into the darkest night. Gondolin's fall proved that no bastion could stand long against the will of Morgoth. The War of Wrath. In the end, the Valar could no longer ignore the ruin of Middle-earth. At the plea of Erendil, they came in wrath, and so began the greatest war the world has ever known. The host of the Valar crossed the sea and marched upon Angband. Balrogs fell, dragons died, and Morgoth was thrown down. The towers of Thangorodrim, raised above Angband's gates, were broken, and the fortress itself was unmade. Morgoth was captured, bound with the chain Anganor, and cast beyond the walls of the world. Angband is no more, its pits collapsed, its halls drowned beneath the sea, but its memory haunts the world. The evil born there did not perish with its master. Sauron escaped, and in time he would rise again. The orcs that once swarmed from its depths multiplied in the dark corners of the earth, and the weapons of fear and domination forged there, they linger still. In the echoes of Angband, we hear the first chords of the Long War, a war that would not end until the ring was cast into fire. So stands the tale of Angband, the iron prison, a fortress of fire and shadow, of cruelty and power. In its fall the First Age ended, but its shadow stretched far beyond. For evil once awakened does not sleep easily, and the echo of Morgoth's forge rings still, in the hearts of those who choose power over mercy. Let those who walk the paths of Middle-earth remember, there was once a place where even hope feared to breed, feared to tread. That place was Angband. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to follow the deeper shadows of Tolkien's legendarium.